Hello everybody. Hey, I just want to say a quick something. I've been doing some research on some TV shows. And everybody's watched this one Family Guy episode called The Simpsons Guy. Wait, why do I still have it like this? Hold on a second, guys. Well, I can't be on this mode for too long, but on HD mode. You see, I was on the lowest mode. But anyways, so everybody watched the Simpsons episode called, well, not Simpsons, the Family Guy episode called The Simpsons Guide, right? So suddenly, somehow, there was some sort of rage, like Peter's comics were pretty much offensive towards other people. Like, you put up offensive things, on the comics, and long story short, they eventually have to move. They eventually move out of Quahog. They eventually move out of Quahog, which, by the way, is in Rhode Island. And so while they drive all the way over there, they eventually, or somewhere, they eventually go to a gas station and to get gas, and they find out the car is stolen. And then eventually, after a long drive, after what should have been a long drive from Quahog to another place that they went to, where they met the Simpsons, Springfield. But guess what? Here's my concern a little bit. So, let's say, well, I'm just gonna say this right now. How the hell did the Family Guy characters make it from all the way to from Quahog to Springfield? Because let me just explain something. I've been doing some research where the Simpsons live and where the Family Guy characters live, like the Griffins live, I should say. And I searched up where the Simpsons live, and I found some answers. I watched a YouTube video about it too. They were explaining where they let us know where the Simpsons really live, and guess where they live? Guess. That's right. Well, I think everybody should know this by now. They live in Springfield, Oregon. Sorry for doing this so much. I just like to, do this a lot. But anyways, so the Simpsons lives in Springfield, Oregon. And the Family Guy characters, I know they live in a township called Quahog, but guess where that's located? Rhode Island. That's right, and this time I'm not going to turn off the camera so much. Guess it changed to lower quality. So, long story short is, so you're telling me that the Family Guy characters drove from, here it is, they drove from Rhode Island, and they drove all the way to Oregon. So, I know this is a cartoon, everybody, but realistically, if they drove all the way from Quahog, Rhode Island to Springfield, Oregon, it could have taken them like an estimate of days, weeks even, or maybe just a week. It all depends. Maybe I'll look up a town in Rhode Island and a town in Oregon, like the closest town to Rhode Island. Of course, it's not close at all. It's really far away. It's like on the other side of the United States. But I'm gonna look it up. The places like. So basically, I'm probably gonna look up Providence, and I'm also gonna look up. Well, I'll probably look up Eugene or something. And see how far it is, from there to So I'm basically gonna look up Rhode Island to Oregon. So let me look that up. Okay, so I just looked up a place that it's in Rhode Island, Providence, Rhode Island, and what did this come from? Hold on a second. That was unexpected. Anyways, so here's the places I looked up: Providence, Rhode Island, which is sort of similar to Quahog, Rhode Island, to Eugene, Oregon, which is similar to Springfield, Oregon. And guess how long it would take to get from Rhode Island to Oregon? It would take 48 hours and 32 minutes. So a total estimate of 2 days and 32 minutes. So realistically, they would have been at least driving for 2 days at least, or 48 hours, or somewhere between that mark. So I honestly don't know how they made it in just 1 day. It would take like 2 days time to get from, which is actually kind of weird in a way. Like, I thought it would take longer than that. So weeks, I don't know why it'd take weeks. That's how, if you walk there. Well, if you walk there, it'd probably take months. But anyways, so that's basically what I wanted to say. Like, in the Simpsons Guide episode, like, the driving part, like, I don't understand. I know it's a cartoon. Long story short, I know it's a cartoon, but I just find it crazy that they drove from Rhode Island to Oregon, because it would take Again, I just found it crazy. It would take 2 days' time. Alright. Goodbye, everybody. I'm gonna let this camera go off randomly. Alright, no, not really. Goodbye. It would basically take 2 days' time to get from from Rhode Island to Oregon. Alright.